Two things really drive me in building my personal brand to its highest limits. The first is ultimate autonomy. The second is I am in it for recognition on what I'm really, really great at.
Welcome to the 9 to 5 Quitters Club, the podcast uncovering the creator entrepreneurs at the forefront of a work revolution. We're speaking with Gigi Robinson, Janel Abrahami, and Brandon Smithwrick, 3 successful creator entrepreneurs who have built businesses that align with their personal values and lifestyle goals. We explore what truly motivates these 3 beyond just building successful businesses. From Gigi's desire for freedom to cook, care for her dogs, and help others, to Janel's pursuit of autonomy and recognition, to Brandon's clear vision of time, location, and financial freedom. You'll discover what success really means to creator entrepreneurs and how they're designing businesses that support their ideal lives. Let's dive in, and I hope you enjoy the conversation. You all talked about your mission, but personally, what's the end goal? You want to exit because you want to have a ton of money? What's the life you want to be living, whatever that is in your 50s, 60s, 40s, whenever it is, what is the personal gain you get out of this?
I mean, I think for me, it's dogs. I love dogs. I love my dog. No, probably 2 or 3. I have one, and then I have my mom's dog also that I look after a lot of the time. So that's 2 puppies under 2. It's kind of like having, I've never been an actual mother yet, but, it's a lot of work. And so I don't think more than 2 dogs at once, but I really enjoy having them around and spending time with them. I actually love cooking. It would be a dream of mine to host a at-home cooking talk show. I would love to teach you how to meal prep. That is one of my most favorite things to do. I love cooking. I don't like eating out actually because I prefer what I cook for myself. Part of that is because of my health issues. And so I eat a certain way, and there's certain restaurants that I'm very picky about. All that to say, having the time to be able to cook at home or teach kids how to cook at home. And if I am able to, enterprise that or be more entrepreneurial on top of what I've already built, great. I don't think I'll ever stop writing, speaking, doing any of that and helping others. But on a personal note, it's really that freedom to do whatever you want whenever, to be able to buy my parents a house one day, hopefully, to be able to, who knows, retire my boyfriend or my future partner, my future husband. I don't know what that will look like, but at least I would have to retire myself first, probably myself first. I'll focus on me first. But just the freedom to be able to do what you want and to have fun. I think having fun and helping people and giving back is so important. I always have loved volunteering and helping people. And that could be a variety of things, right? That could be going to a soup kitchen, or that could be mentoring kids who come from, communities who want to grow in the arts. And how, I started out at LaGuardia High School just uptown. I had no idea I would become who I am today. And if I can help a high school student reframe their direction and where they want to go, that'll be worth it. So I feel it's just about the contribution to help others.
Two things really drive me in building my personal brand to its highest limits. The first is ultimate autonomy. I have been in positions where I've had to take jobs or I've had to say yes to things because I've needed the money, even if I really didn't want to do it, or if it would burn me out, or I just couldn't handle it, but I can't say no. Mm-hmm. I never want to be in that position again. So building something that gives me the ultimate autonomy and say in how I spend my time, who I work with, how I earn my money, how much money I have the potential to earn, that is the number one thing that I'm after. And the second, I used to be afraid to admit this, but the second is I am in it for recognition on what I'm really, really great at. I've spent many, many years in the corporate world feeling like I always had something to prove because I was more silly and entertaining and thought of things in a different, more creative way that weren't the buttoned up way that everyone else on my team thought about that. And I always felt less than, or oh, I'm not cut out for this, or people don't take me seriously. But I know, if I may say so myself, I'm effing brilliant at these certain things that I am brilliant at, And I tell my audience too, sometimes I open up my videos with, you're hot, you're brilliant and you deserve to have autonomy over who sees that, who recognizes it. If people at your office don't appreciate it, there are countless people on LinkedIn or on the internet who will appreciate it. So honestly, like, I want to be recognized as someone who had really smart, strategic, creative ideas on the future of work and how people fulfill their potential.
My goal is really clear. It's freedom. I want time freedom. I want location freedom. I want financial freedom. I want to be able to work whenever I want. I want to be able to not worry about any bills or expenses because I always know I have multiple streams of income. At the same time, I can work from wherever I want. As long as there's Wi-Fi, we're good. And I kind of love that because when you build a personal brand, in a way, you're also future-proofing yourself. And because I'm in the corporate world, I've seen big tech companies lay off 20,000 employees, no notice, and people are just like, my safety net has been ripped from like right under me. And I never want to be in that position where I'm so tied to a corporate job that if that goes away, everything crumbles. So in a way, I want to have a corporate paycheck. Cause I also have a wife and I want to give benefits, right? Because also I think one thing that's not always said is when you're an entrepreneur, there is other expenses. There's a lot of other things. And I want to make sure that, you know, whether I'm doing something for my newsletter and I'm able to monetize that, I have a personal brand, I'm able to monetize that. I have content creation, that's being monetized. And I'm also on the advisory boards, that's being monetized. There's like so many different ways where I can make sure that I'm okay, my family's okay. At the same time, there was something you said that like sparked an idea. It just left my head.
Recognition, visibility.
Oh, recognition, that's what it was. I also realized that I love teaching. I think being a knowledge creator or a career creator, you're basically sharing your expertise.
It's blowing up right now.
It's blowing up. But when you're sharing your expertise, you're always either being a student of the game, you're always learning, and you're always hungry because I need to share, so I need to always feed my knowledge. But at the same time, I have mentees. I realized like I want to be an adjunct professor one day. I've had book offers. I'm like, not yet, only because I want to make sure like the moment is right. But like once you kind of get that bug of like, I love teaching and helping people, I mean, the doors open for themselves.
And also sounds like the freedom to turn the Wi-Fi off whenever you want
sure.
that. And like, do not reach me is also important.
I love that. And also what Brandon's saying about like the right time, like I've been wanting to write a book since 2021 and I started in 2021 writing a proposal and it wasn't right. Like the time wasn't right after Sports Illustrated. I'm like, I just like wasn't right. It wasn't flowing. I had a call with a friend, I think in December before I had surgery. And she's like, Gigi, like, what are your goals for this year? And in November, I went to Tony Robbins' UPW and I set a goal there. I don't know if you guys know Tony Robbins, his work. Yeah. Huge motivational speaker, like probably the number one. So I went to this thing and I'm talking to my friends and we're like, you know, what are your goals? And I'm like, by this time next year, like we'll either have had a book deal or we'll be through the process of the book deal. And I started January, like just being like, okay, like what are these ideas that I need to do? How do I get there? All of a sudden I'm like, boom, I got it. I wrote 23 pages. My proposal's like out and done. And so now I'm about to enter into like querying as well. But the point is I wasn't ready. And as soon as you are ready for whatever project it is, like I'm telling you, it will click and it'll flow. And when you're in that flow, everything else will also flow. Like I also had a huge content block for a long time because of a variety of different things. And I just needed like a reset for myself, but I couldn't figure out that angle. And until I sat down and was like, what is the goal? Like, what's the reset? What's the clarity? What's the audit on myself and my vision and my plan? Because that can also evolve and change over time. Once I sat down and did that, again, everything started falling into place. And so, yeah, that would just be another piece of advice to just like trust that process, even though it's frustrating to hear that, like you really do have to just trust the process.
I want to get a little more tactile with that because I think a lot of this space is the inspiration, the mindset just to get started and like things will follow. But there's a point, I think, for a lot of people where you've been posting, you've built a certain amount of content, you have some followers, you know, like there is an audience and maybe you've even made a little money, a few $1,000s off of it. At that point, you have every single company like Teachable saying, we're the next thing you should do, or a book deal, or this. you're all saying you're not ready for a book deal, but even with all of those possible income streams, for someone who's in that position, what tactile advice do you give them of like, what is the next opportunity to pursue? How do you build smart individual income streams? Because you can get lost doing one thing or another.
I mean, what problem are you solving, right? Like, again, it's a question and answer, and who knows, maybe this just comes from like the frameworks that I've been taught and that I learned in like undergrad and my master's, but like I've found that everybody in their work is solving for a problem. It doesn't matter if you're a nurse solving for whatever you're solving for, or you're an entrepreneur, or you're a tech founder, like you're solving for a problem. So what's the problem? And by the way, when I say this, this could literally be your niche, right? Like Janel is solving to help people career pivot and figure out their full potential. You know, Brandon's solving to help people learn the importance of personal branding and or potentially being a director in corporate. Like, I think those are very unique things that they're solving for. And so whether that's your target audience or whether there's a problem you're solving, there's going to be a set of questions. And, you know, with tools like AI these days, you no longer have to Google, you no longer really have to do a survey. You can simply just use AI hopefully you're going to education-based and you're pulling things from actual, studies and whatnot, but you can genuinely go to the AI and ask what the top 50 questions for somebody with XYZ problem is, and then use that list to come up with unique content ideas and scripts and so much more. And so I think it really is not so hard to find the people you're trying to create content for.
Or how do you what income stream makes sense at that point?
I mean, like, it's whatever is the best fit for the person. I can't give you advice. I can't give you advice to go write a book if you hate writing. I can't give you advice to create a course if you can't sit and interview people, or you can't sit and stare directly at the camera. I can't give you that advice, because there are people who want to do a podcast, but they don't want to be on video, or that want to be a video creator, but they've only done short form and they have no idea how to make a YouTube channel. So I can't give you advice that's so uberly specific to an individual and their business model.
But here's a place to start. So as Brandon mentioned, I love a framework coming from my coaching background, and a framework that I have really kind of honed in on is like 5 C's of different income streams. So you have consulting, coaching, courses, content creation, or a paid community, okay? Pick one, do it well, learn it for a year, collect feedback from the people that you are benefiting from that one income stream, that one C that you chose, then add another one. Learn that. Get really great at then juggling those 2 income streams together, because you're not getting rid of the first one. And juggling them in and of itself is a skill, because what you're now building is a portfolio career of multiple different projects, clients, income streams. And as someone who tried to do everything everywhere all at once and really quickly burnt out and was like, I'm getting a 9-to-5 again, I can't do this. That is a recipe for disaster. For longevity and sustainability, know that you can eventually fill out that entire portfolio with however many income streams make sense, but you need to start with one, you need to hone that, and then add one more layer. Figure out whether that's right for you, what feels good, what doesn't. Okay, I tried the course and I actually missed the live interaction, so let's sunset that or make it available evergreen, but I'm actually now going to pursue active live experiences or opportunities because that's where I feel my most authentic self.
And also talk to other people. Like, Janel and I were having a very candid conversation about public speaking this morning. And I was like, it's hard to get paid for public speaking unless you're a corporate public speaker. And usually corporate public speakers are getting in the room because the companies that they're speaking for are buying 500 books for them to give a keynote, but who knows if they're actually getting paid. So there's a very robust world of public speaking, but I've cracked the code in terms of media appearance public speaking, but I have not cracked the code in terms of public speaking as a true, 50, 60% of my income kind of stream. It's probably 5 or 10% of my income right now, but genuinely public speaking so hard to break into. But had we not had honest conversations, about this industry, it would make me feel less alone, potentially discouraging me. And so I really encourage people to be honest and have conversations with other creators and or people doing what you want to do, because a lot of the time people will actually answer the questions. People love when you ask them questions. They love to talk about themselves and their journey. And I think that that's a really important thing to consider.
I think one thing Gigi said that I want to go back to is like, people think the way of monetizing or scaling, I guess, your content is, all right, what's the roadmap? I do this, then this, then this, and this. And that's actually not how it works. And one thing Janel says, like, all right, you can pick one of these things, but I think the essence of what we're saying is you may start with content creation. That might be your foundation, let's say. But Jonah, even within your question, you're like, you made a couple of dollars. For me, I'm like, oh, then you figured it out. Because I really believe this. And it's a quote that I didn't understand for a long time, but it's so much harder to make $100 online than $1,000 online. Because once you figure out how to make $100, I'm just gonna rinse and repeat. Once I crack the code, all right, I know how people will actually give me a check for doing whatever I'm going to provide. I have a couple of options. I just do more of those, or I raise the price. And once you figure that out, it's all right, cool. I might wanna go deeper. The way people go deeper may be a podcast, but it might not be right for you. It could be a community. All right, but maybe that's a lot of time. Coaching, I actually love being one-on-one with people. So I think that's like the key there. I think one thing Teachable does really well that even I've learned is you must own your audience. I think without that, you're always going to be at the foot of the platform. So I think whether you want to start a newsletter, you want to start a paid community, you want to do events, that's the next step I think all creators should take. And you may not feel like, I'm not ready for a newsletter. I'm not ready for a paid community. And I get that. You need to just start thinking about, all right, when Instagram is down, when TikTok is banned, when LinkedIn is suppressing your reach to where no one's seeing your posts, what's next? And you don't want your creator business to be cut off all because a platform changed their algorithm that day.
How many people did we see scrambling in January saying, follow me here, follow me here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss you guys so much.
Last day, yeah.
If I had a newsletter, I'll see you tomorrow in my inbox.
Every single creator who was scrambling that I saw, like lifestyle creators, beauty creators, all of a sudden they're making newsletters, and it's like, it doesn't actually make sense for them. And have they put out anything
Have we had a peep from them since?
I don't think so. And it's like funny, and like, I'm not like, yeah, it totally was. And I get it though. Like, what you're saying is so important, and I believe every single word. And I just don't know if a beauty creator writing a newsletter would hit. However, maybe they'd come out with an app where they're doing a private community where people are paying $15, $20 a month to see how they're doing new makeup videos for, you're going to a summer wedding. This is the makeup video to do. You want a new nude lip. Like, I have actually seen that happen. But I don't think the newsletter version of that for that specific niche works. So yeah.
I would say, I do think a lot of B2C creators see this B2B playbook and think I can't do that, and vice versa. But I actually would challenge that. I think if you were a beauty creator, you could have a newsletter. Here are the products I've tried this month. Here is what I've learned from testing this. You can also just sell ad space. It's missing your same formula of all your videos. And I do think, and I think when you mentioned what Terry said, I was thinking about this so much, like, yes, AI has cluttered the space. I would encourage people to use AI ethically by just saying, hey, here is my TikTok script. Can you help me turn this into a newsletter? And from that, you can actually build upon like your B2C business and make it maybe a bit more expertise driven.
Yeah, something I also do with AI that's been like a game changer, and you were talking about this in terms of keeping up and knowledge learning, is that like yesterday I was at the TikTok office for this TikTok Live Creator Network presentation thing. And I was just like, I had a long day. I did not want to like write notes. So I just click record. It records the whole thing, transcripts it. Then I tell it, please make this into a document with key points that summarizes what I'm doing. And then I'm like, now that you've done this, can you come up with a LinkedIn kind of framework for this, or a newsletter framework where I can expand on this to really share with people, and or a video script that is in my voice. And I've actually trained AI bots to be in my voice to the point where like I'm going in and I'm telling the AI bot, like, this is my version of what I would do. Can you help me refine it? And it actually has helped me push out so much content in the past 3 months. Like my bandwidth is now, I would say my time is cut maybe like I've cut 3/4 of the time. Like 75% of my time is back to me now, which allows me to create more and in volume.
All three of these creators are a great example of how a business can be built with the intention to provide freedom, autonomy, and fulfillment. These stories remind us that the true measure of success isn't just revenue or follower counts, but whether your business enables the life you want and allows you to make the impact you desire. Whether that's through teaching, recognition for your expertise, or the ability to work from anywhere with Wi-Fi. If you want to catch the rest of this conversation, don't miss the other 2 parts linked here, or you can catch the entire thing in the link in the description. Thanks for being here. We'll catch you in the next one.